Hey everybody, it's Ann with Meridian Medical Staffing.
Our Director of Recruitment. All right.
I am, yeah.
Right.
And Mark, the CEO.
Hi. So we're gonna wrap it up today. We're gonna talk a little bit about
With our series called,
Nothing is Free.
right, this is video 7.
It's been a lot of fun. You guys have put a lot of input into
Yeah.
this. We tried to use the biggest topics. There were some topics that were a little off, but we're gonna be addressing those down the road. I'm excited about them. So things that didn't necessarily apply to Nothing is Free, but thanks for all the ideas.
Yeah.
You guys have been great. You've been doing a lot of feedback, a lot of talk on this stuff. So
Yeah.
it's telling us what you guys want to hear from this side of the table, which is again the whole point of this thing. We don't always know, what the agency's thinking, and as a transparent company, we want to show that to you. So today, Nothing is Free. We're going to talk about that.
We're going to wrap it all up
Bring it all
to
together.
a nice tiny little package.
Yeah, we've been talking a lot about credentialing. We've been talking about swag, marketing, the idea of what happens if I get canceled for those companies that pay for that day, some that don't. And what I really want to do for our viewers is to be able to show them how to put a per hour value on all of those items. So they then have the tools and really the armor to say, I can look at an offer from either two different companies or the same company and kind of judge which way I want to go based upon having a fixed amount of an hourly rate. And then it's just up to, do I want to make a lot of money and go someplace that's maybe a little bit, less desirable this time of year, but it's going to pay more? Do I want to go somewhere south? But it gives our viewers the ability to be able to have a total hourly compensation that they can now compare to assignments about. And that's the whole point of this thing, that you guys will see Nothing is Free. So
All right.
I thought we'd go real high tech and you'd actually grab the camera and we'd go over to the dry erase and I'd actually show a couple of examples of just some jobs and kind of see what's talking about.
Yeah, so bear with us.
Yeah.
Okay,
I'll grab my
here we
little
go.
protein drink here and we're gonna do it.
Him and that drink.
Huh?
Him and that drink.
Oh yeah.
It's either that or peanut butter, I'll let you know.
All right, so let's you can kind of head over here. Let's take a couple of different examples. I want to use two this time of year, so I'm just going to put one on the board. Again, this is how maybe you'll see them being offered. You may have one. Let's take Texas, because it's still late winter, early spring.
That's just a little too high.
Is it too high?
Yeah,
right.
Sorry guys.
Okay, let's go Texas. All right, and let's also compare maybe North Dakota. Okay, we'll do two different ones. So for Texas, let's go a little bit lower, because obviously Texas, it's supply and demand.
You're not in.
That's okay. I don't need to be in.
Okay, just want to make sure.
Let's say this position is paying $32 an hour. Let's go really high and say it's got a $2,000 monthly tax-free housing stipend. I'll put it like that. Okay. Let's throw some other things out there. Let's say that this one has an $800 travel reimbursement. So I'll just put travel there, right? And let's talk about some of these other things. So, some things that I want to talk about. Let's begin with credentialing. A lot of us, you and I, Ann, talked about how credentialing is a big thing. A lot of people really love the fact that their company will pay for credentialing. And I think when we had an example, we came up with a $300 benefit. So let's say a company is saying, we're going to take care of not only the background and the drug screen that we all take care of, but we're going to pay for your MMR or a TDAP, or you've got a certification that has to be renewed. We're going to take care of that. We came up with a figure of $300, just to kind of say $300 credentialing. That's how much that we're going to value. And you guys can do this. You can put a value on credentialing. You guys have a pretty good understanding of what the value is. So if you've got very little to credential and you're pretty much up to speed and you might need a TB and that's it, and maybe go to get a physical, put a value on how much does that cost you? And then come over to this calculator that we're going to show you, this way of conducting this, and be able to put a total amount on there. How much does this thing cost? All right, let's also talk about swag. Let's do two different things. Let's say you get a gift basket with this company, right? And that's an important thing. You love that. You've traveled completely across the country, and you're tired, and the company gets you a gift basket. It's got some biscottis, and maybe it's got a Starbucks card. Let's say it's a $50 value that you've decided. You look at all the stuff they put in there and you've got a $50 value. Let's say this company that you really like notoriously gives you, I use the word fanny pack because I think they're about the, well, you just see them. They're not that, some nurses like them, but let's say there's some things that you really do like. They give you some kind of swag. Of course, it's got the company logo all over it. It's got their website, the phone number.
T-shirt.
T-shirt. But let's say that you're saying that every assignment, it's about $100 swag, right? That they give you. They give you something that's worth about $100. And here's another one I want to talk about. This is the thing you guys mentioned. Let's say, and I want to use 12-hour shifts. So again, don't beat me up out there. I'm going to say 12-hour shifts. And I want to use that magical number that's the majority of what you guys see, not a 40-hour, not an 8-hour shift or 40-hour work week. But let's say you're in a 12-hour OR, just amuse me for a minute. And let's say that you get, Memorial Day is coming up, so let's say you're going to get paid for Memorial Day with this company. So let's say you get 1 day of paid holiday because you're going to have the OR is going to be closed and you're going to get that paid. All right, so does that make sense? This is what this offer is. So you're like, wow, this is a great offer. I'm going to put this in a different color. North Dakota. Okay, cold. Low, we talked about supply and demand. Low supply, maybe not a high demand, but low supply of nurses that want to go there. So let's say this company has to put it at 38 an hour. You getting this?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, $38 an hour. So it's a much higher paying position. And let's say, but it's North Dakota, so the housing might be less expensive because it's not seasonal like Texas. And let's say this one only has an $1,800 monthly tax-free housing stipend. Guys, I'm not going to get into tax advantage again on this one. We'll talk about that again. Let's just say that your company is doing it the right way. If you aren't sure what I'm talking about, go back and look at some of our older videos where we talk about how this should be a whole number. By the way, your overtime, remember your overtime should always be paid at time and a half of what your total compensation is with any company. So if you're being told it's being paid 32 an hour, you should say, I want 1.5 of that when I'm working anything over 40. Or obviously 1.5 of that, anything over 8 hours in California. If this job is paying 38, your company darn well better be putting 1.5 in writing of that entire 38, or come work for us where we do that, because you're getting ripped off the rest of it. Again, not to ramble or digress, go see some of our other videos. And let's say in this assignment here, let's just say we're only going to get $500 travel because you're closer, let's say, to North Dakota. Let's say you're in Wyoming, so that's why you're getting $800 to go to Texas and $500. So here's your two assignments, right? These are your two situations, and so now let's break these down. Obviously, 32 an hour already is an hourly rate. It's, I know this is tough, but $32 an hour, right? It's already been put in there. Let's put the rest of these into an hourly rate. And again, I want to use a 12-hour shift or a 36-hour work week, which the magic number is 468. Which is 36 hours times 13 weeks. That's the assumption. Anything above that is going to be more money for you. It's going to affect this entirely. But this is what all recruiter and all recruiting companies and all travel agencies predicate all these numbers on. So if we're getting $2,000 a month, and I'm going to try to really go slow because I talk quickly.
And he does math very quickly.
Too late. So if we're going to go $2,000 a month, obviously we're going to multiply $2,000 times the 3 months that you're going to be there, or we're going to have $6,000. And I'm going to do the math very simply. If I take $6,000 and I divide it by 468, right? That's the total number of hours, is the total compensation I'm getting for housing. That's going to come to $12.82. I hope you guys followed me. $6,000 total compensation over the entire 13 weeks divided by the total number of hours you're going to work gives me an hourly benefit to that $2,000 a month tax-free housing stipend. In this example, we're going to assume 468 hours, that's a $12.82 benefit to you. Okay, let's look at travel. This company's offering $800 travel. So all we have to do is take 800 divided by 468, right? So that's perfect. That comes to $1.71. If you do that math, 800 divided by 468, that means you're getting $1.71 more an hour because they're giving you the $800 over the course of the assignment. Here's where it gets a little bit interesting. These people put a lot of value on credentialing. And many companies credential, many companies don't. But if you took a $300 total credentialing benefit and you divided that by 468 hours, you're going to see that this comes to a whopping 64 cents an hour benefit over the course of the assignment. So that's why I always tell people in that video, be careful if you're $1 or $2 less, and that's all they're doing, because clearly that's not an advantage for you. A $50 gift certificate, if you divide that by 468, is actually 10 cents. A $100 fanny pack, a $100 pen light, a lanyard that you don't need 20 more of course, right? All of that stuff is going to come to 21 cents. 100 divided by 468 is 21. Now follow me on this one. This one's kind of interesting. If you take one day, 12 hours, times $32 an hour, that's $384 you're going to get for free. Does it make sense? So 12 times 32, which is the hourly rate, equals 384, divided by 468, right, comes to 82 cents. So now you basically, let's say that's it with this company. You've completely broken everything down that this company is offering you into an hourly benefit. And to do the math for you, because I've already done it, this compensation is $48.30 even, if you add all of these up. So now you say, I've got this. Again, I'm making some assumptions. I'm assuming that this is all based on just 36 hours. You have to decide for yourself what company to work for, what they're going to do over 36 hours, and what they're going to do over 40 hours. And again, if you have any questions about this, call me or go back and look at these videos, because you can't just get the taxable portion of this 32 for anything over 36 hours, and you darn well better be getting 1.5% of this rate for overtime. So what we've done here is we've broken this down to a total hourly benefit. You now have the ability to say, okay, now it's up to me to decide, do I want to go to Texas? This total compensation, in my mind, for this travel assignment, I'd be making $48.30. Now you can figure out if you're taking care of your own housing, if the company's going to get rid of that and do that for you. It gives you a basis to make a decision on, which sometimes you guys are just flying around there thinking about, well, this company is good, I like my recruiter. But no, put some value. If you value these things, and I go back to credentialing, swag, getting a day off, you should say, what is that financially and monetarily worth to me? And if you use that magic number, and again, guys, if you're on a 40-hour work week, 40 times 13 is 520. So use that figure. If you're an operating room nurse or a PACU nurse, or you just happen to be unfortunate enough to have to work 5 days a week and you're on 8-hour shifts, that's your magic number for those shifts. Okay, let's talk about North Dakota. So obviously we've got the $38 an hour, so that's, again, pretty easy. You got a $38 an hour package. Now 18 per month times 3 months divided is $5,400. If you divide that by 468, you're going to come up with $11.53 an hour. It's less than this one, obviously, but you got a big rate here, so there's that. If you take a $500 travel, it's going to be barely over a buck, and obviously 500 divided by 468 is $1.07. So now we're good. This company isn't going to offer you credentialing. They're offering a really nice pay rate, so you're going to do your own credentialing. If you have a lot of credentialing, this may weigh heavier for you. You might be over $1 an hour. If you've never traveled before and you lost all of your medical records, then you're going to have to go back and actually, do everything. You may have a much, much higher than $300 credentialing fee or bill. So a company's going to take care of that for you. Obviously, that elevates that value. So again, we're talking about this company. This is that's all that they're doing. So if we look at this company and that's all that they're doing, we add this up. This is $50.60. So again, this one's paying more than this one. Now you can decide. We've got a company that's going to give you a nice warm paying assignment in Texas. They give you a lot of perks. It's a $48.30. You've got another company up here that's going to, it's colder, but they don't do an awful lot, but you're still making more. By the way, just so you know, let's do the difference, because this is where you should really be thinking about it. If you take $50.60 and you subtract $48.30, that's not a lot, right? That's only $2.30, 2.3. But if you multiply that by the number of hours, again, that magical number of 468, this assignment is going to gross you $1,076.40 more than this one. Now, if that makes sense to you, I'll wrap this up. This is not a judgment call. This is to give you the tools so you can decide. $1,076.40 might not be worth it to you to freeze your tail off, right? And that's your decision. It might be absolutely worth it. You might be in a pinch and you need to gross and net as much money as you possibly can. Or if you're saying, I need to have some nice warm weather and I want my company to do a lot of things for me that are paying for me to do, this gives you the tools to do that. So you guys should use this. Use those magical numbers of 468 for 12-hour shifts and 520 for 8-hour shifts. You can take everything your company is doing or not doing and truly show how nothing is free. You can put a value to it because it's not free. And you can say, what is my per hour benefit for each of these assignments? I hope that kind of breaks it all down. This has been a lot of fun. I hope this helps you choose an assignment. I hope it helps you choose a recruiter. It helps you choose a company. Obviously, I hope it's ours because we want to do it the right way. Again, if you want some answers as far as how this money should be paid, this is when you can say, I love company A, but they don't give me anything that's except for my taxable portion of my hourly rate for anything over 36 hours. So at the end of the day, it's up to you to decide. So we appreciate you. We're going to start a whole new series next week. I'll let you know about that one. It's actually going to be breaking down a package. So in other words, breaking down your offer. We've got some examples coming in. Keep sending them. We're actually going to take offers, black them out, and actually walk you through this offer. And again, this will be a non-judgment call from us, but here's what I like about this. Here's what I don't like about it. So we've got some good examples, some great ones, and some examples of not so great ones. So we'll see you next week. Thanks, everybody.
See ya.